سائر للدين حتما سائر فالقدس صاحت غادر أدمى فؤاد الطاهر.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, I have the powerhouse next to me. I have Sheikh Abdullah next to me and one and only Sheikh Kaydul, who we've brought back from Luton to sit with us in the set and continue with our series, because mashallah, the ocean of knowledge this guy has. With Sheikh Abdullah next to me, wallahi, makes our series more important, more virtuous, more knowledgeable for the viewers and everybody that's watching. Alhamdulillah, we want to continue the series with letting people know how important Palestine, Al Aqsa, Masjid al Aqsa is to the Ummah, and the current situation that the whole Palestine is going through, the people of Gaza are going through, and we need to understand and feel this, what they're going through, by just talking about them, making dua about them. Without wasting any more time, Sheikh, you know, we want to really inform the people of when the land of Al Aqsa, Palestine, came into the hands of the Muslims, and it's an amazing story how it happened. And I'm not going to take no more time. Like, you want to just elaborate to the people?
So Alhamdulillah, as we all know, Masjid al Aqsa is Bayt al-Maqdis. Is the whole main series about this Ramadan is about Bayt al-Maqdis because of the situation in Palestine and everything else, in Gaza and so forth. Now the important bit comes in when it came into the hands of the Muslims. Today we want to speak about somebody that... Sorry, why is your hand on my chair for?
Oh, sorry.
Well, it's true though, we got our thing here like...
Oh, okay, I'm just a big man, so I can't...
Get a bigger chair next time.
Okay.
We want to talk about someone today that, subhanallah, everybody wants to become.
Allahu Akbar, yes.
No joke, it's true.
Yes.
The viewers are probably thinking,
Everyone's hero in, yes.
Everyone's hero is this person. Everyone wants to become this person. Everyone wants to follow this person's footsteps.
Subhanallah,
But subhanallah, we are so weak that we can't even do an inch of this what individual did.
Sheikh Abdullah,
Yes.
you know, can you please tell us?
He was the one who actually came to take the keys for Al Aqsa from the Archbishop at that time.
Are you making the viewers wait too long?
Yes.
Can you tell them the name?
He's none other than Umar radiallahu anhu. Allahu
Subhanallah.
Akbar.
A bit like that.
Umar radiallahu anhu, none other than him. Subhanallah.
The second Khalif in Islam.
The second Khalif in Islam, and he's got so many amazing stories. I mean, every aspect of his life, you'll see some amazing stories coming up from there, and so many lessons to learn from there. When he was coming into Bayt al-Muqaddas, he was traveling from Medina with his slave, and he actually said to his slave, we're going to travel 50-50 all the way. You're going to travel 50% of the time on the beast, and then I'm going to travel 50% of the time. So they traveled all the way, and when they came near to Bayt al-Muqaddas, it was the turn of the slave to ride the beast.
Sheikh Abdullah, you've just said something about Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Prior to that, just before that, Sheikh Kaydul, if you just tell the viewers about how he came, like why was he coming to the Muslims?
Once again, you're doing it again. You just put in it, Sheikh Abdullah, Sheikh. How about you say something? Anyway, so Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu.
I made dua. Please send Maulana Kaydul to today's session, so I don't have to be there alone. you. So now it's like two of us here. So.
Alhamdulillah. So Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, subhanallah, why I said he's everyone's role model and everyone wants to become him is because of his characteristic. It's because everyone knows the history, and we're not going to go into how Umar radiallahu ta'ala came into Islam, how Umar radiallahu wanted to kill the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And today, subhanallah, he's that very same Umar that is resting right beside the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he's the one that came and took over Bayt al-Maqdis. But he didn't come and just take over Bayt al-Maqdis. Everything happened in a very peaceful way.
Subhanallah.
Peaceful way.
Sheikh Kaydul, at this point when he's the Khalif and he's the ruler of the Islamic world, there were other companions were going through battles, taking land, winning wars, and they were close to Palestine at this point. And at this point, everybody around that area, the Arabian Peninsula, have started to realize, hold on, there's people who are taking our land, but they're people with good morals. They're people with traditions that they follow, Allah and His Rasul.
They got high justice.
High justice. And there's like the likes of Khalid ibn al-Walid. I mean, we've not spoken about Khalid ibn al-Walid, but we will at some point. But he's such a powerful companion who was in charge of most of these battles. So you were saying, why were these people looking when the land is taken over? People are in fear.
So the Christians at that time, they were looking after Bayt al-Maqdis, but they knew that it was going all pear-shaped.
He was in a turmoil and he's going
to a mess. He's going to a very rough time. Subhanallah, they said, many people came to them, they said themselves, and according to
some scriptures they have, yes.
They say that there is a person that's from the Muslim faith that will come, or that will take over.
And he'll come in rags with patches on his clothes.
That's right. And what they did was, Ubayd ibn al-Jarrah, I believe, he was one of the companions that was in Bayt al-Maqdis then, and Amr ibn al-As. So they said, who is this person? Call this person over, we want to meet him.
Yes.
And only then we are going to be the only ones that give him the keys of Bayt al-Maqdis.
And something funny quite happens actually, it's funny. It's it's amazing. This
because they didn't want Umar radiallahu anhu to come from Medina.
Yeah, because Medina's far and people have to travel, and it could take a week or so, probably more. So
And
also there was a rule at that time that the Khalifa shouldn't leave the city
himself.
But sorry, just on that. But look how Umar radiallahu anhu, how he did this.
Subhanallah.
Mashwara. This is why mashwara is so important in Islam. Umar radiallahu anhu mashwara with the Sahabas, with the companions in Medina, and said, do you think this is a trap? Shall I go? Shall I not? And they all vouched for him that you should go.
But before they even went there, this is the funny part of the story, that the Christians in Jerusalem, they said, we want this person who's so righteous, who's so fair, to come. So Khalid ibn al-Walid's there, and he's the cousin of Hazrat Umar radiallahu, and he looks like Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala. And you know what they did? They just said, you know what, by the time Hazrat Umar comes from there and he comes here, it's going to be too long. We want to take over this quickly, because we don't know how these people will turn on us.
Yes.
So Khalid ibn al-Walid actually impersonated him.
Yes.
they
someone from the crowd recognized him.
Can you just elaborate?
Yes, someone from the crowd recognized him and said, this isn't Khalid bin Walid, this isn't Umar radiallahu anhu, this is Khalid bin Walid. So you're being duped here.
Yeah.
And
then the bishop said, you know what, that's not going to happen. Our negotiations are finished. We want that.
We're going to only speak to the Khalif, no one else.
Yeah. And then obviously they decided that obviously Umar has to come. And then alhamdulillah, like I said, he done mashwara and it was a decision that he will come. Inshallah, in the next series we will talk about when Umar ibn al-Khattab came into Bayt al-Maqdis and how things happened.
Inshallah, we'll continue in our next series. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi
wa barakatuh.